Well, as we just kind of heard, let's get the obvious out of the way. You're obviously heading home, obviously, for this 3-game weekend series. Just what does it mean for you to head home and also face the quality level of opponents that you guys are going to be facing when you head back to Nevada?
Yeah, I'm very excited to head home. Got a lot of family coming out. We should play in some good weather, so I'm excited about that. But more excited to play the teams that's ahead of us. It should be some good competition, and I think when we handle business, I think we're going to be really secure with where we are as a team. I know we're prepared, so I'm really excited for that aspect of it as well.
Andre?
Right. And just piggybacking off of the aspect of you heading back home, what excites you a little bit more? The level of competition that you guys are getting ready to face, or the fact that you will have some family being out there to watch you play?
Yeah, I love my family. Obviously, I'm really excited to see them, but I'm a little bit more excited for the teams we're about to play. Like I said, we've got a lot of ambition for this weekend, and we've all got our own opinions on how good we are as a team and with rankings and all that. So I'm excited to show everyone what we're capable of this weekend. So.
Right. Kind of just continue on the theme with the quality of opponents you guys are facing. If the team is able to find success, what do you feel like it can do or set a standard for you guys, knowing that you took on some great quality teams and potentially came away with a couple of wins as well?
Yeah, I think games like coming up this weekend can just I don't know, solidify where we are as a team. I think we all know we're capable, but actually going out and doing it, um, sets that a little bit more straight. So.
Right.
You're now the elder statesman in the catcher room as just a sophomore. What did you learn last year from guys like Anson Arrows and Chase Meggers, and how are you translating that type of leadership to a guy like Braden Jackson now as a freshman?
Yeah, I was fortunate to be around a lot of more experienced catchers last year. Anson and Chase, I think they did a lot for my career. They put a lot of emphasis on what being a catcher means to this program. The ways we're expected to lead, and also just a lot of emphasis on really good defense. I think I took that away. What kind of work goes into that? Always being a teammate that hopefully your other teammates can look at, whether you're having a good game or a bad game. I'm just trying to relay that to Braden. I think he does a great job of it. I'm only a sophomore here. I learned from him. He's a great teammate to have, and I think we both push each other in the right direction.
Matt?
Kind of along those same lines, Waz was talking about the great teams are player-led, essentially, of guys being able to step up and self-assess or give an assessment to another teammate of you need to be better here or this is good. How do you describe that process with this team and how it's made an impact early on?
Yeah, Waz is absolutely right. I think a lot of our success comes from, the standard we have for each other, and what he means by player led is like we're going to set our own standards. What we stand for and what we want as a team. That decision comes from within the group, and obviously the coaches have a lot to do with that as well. But they emphasize that they want that specifically to come from us. And I think that just, allows us to play with some freedom. Like, we've established what we want. And so it becomes a little bit easier to hold each other accountable if we've all had our own say of what's important to us.
Joey?
You touched on the pride in defense for this program. How good can this team be defensively? What's been your assessment so far?
I think we're great defensively. I think our pitching staff's doing a great job so far. I'm really excited with where we are with that. And then we've got a lot of speed in the outfield. I talked about this previously. We put a lot of emphasis on throwing strikes as pitchers, and it definitely makes it a lot easier to commit to that when you've got great guys behind us. So outfield's laying out for balls. Same goes with our infield. I think we're really deep defensively, and I think we're going to have a lot of success from that this year.
Ryan?
You're a switch hitting catcher, but last year you really only hit from the left side of the plate. Now you're getting to hit from both sides of the plate. Does it feel a little bit like how have you developed your right-handed swing over the course of this season to get acclimated now to collegiate pitching from both batters' boxes?
Yeah, I mean, last year I wasn't able to take many at bats right-handed, and being actually able to do that throughout the fall and the winter, I think just getting more reps at it has prepared me better. you can hit in the cages and stuff like that, but I think at bats tell you the most of where you're at. So just, the more I do it, the more confident I become in it. And so I'm always looking for right-handed at bats. It doesn't seem to be the case that you get them as much as left-handed at bats with how many righty pitchers there are, but nonetheless.
Right. Talked a lot about the standard, especially when it comes to this offensive group, and it feels like in the first 8 games we've seen a lot of success. I think first 5 games or 5 of the last 8 games, 10 or more runs. How do you feel like this group has found success at the plate, and where do you feel like offensively this group still needs to grow moving forward throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think I think one thing we're doing a really good job of is we talked at the first weekend splitting the game into thirds, and rather than just playing by the final score of the game, and I think that just keeps kind of that mindset of like, all right, well, we whether we won or lost the first third, it's like now we can reshift our focus to a completely new game, and I think that just keeps us present, puts a lot of emphasis on each individual inning. And I think we do a good job of not letting innings slip. We're always on the gas pedal. I think as long as we stick with that, I think we can improve in that. This weekend we had, a couple of zeros that we'd like to expand on. And I think we're totally capable of it. So as long as we continue to improve on that, I think we're in a good spot.
Are you the fastest on a scooter on the team?
No, actually, my scooter's very much broken, so it doesn't move that fast anymore. It might need to be retired probably a couple months ago. So, no.
Anybody else? Who is?
I don't know. We got a couple guys with some fancy scooters. I think Tanner Bradley's got a really fast one. That thing's pretty sweet. It's like just about as fast as my truck, probably. So, maybe Tanner.